What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. Y'all hit that like button and hit the subscribe button as well. Y'all hit the like button as y'all come on in. I wanted to talk about a topic that I saw from Jim Jones. Jim Jones went on Joe Budden's podcast, and he was basically saying that the Bloods are like a fraternity, a college fraternity, right? And basically saying it's the same thing. In so many ways, so many words, he was saying they were the equivalent of each other, right? And so, me being a brother of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, I said, man, let's get on this live stream and discuss this. Let's see where this conversation goes. Some of y'all, well, I'm gonna wait till y'all come on in here first. I'm gonna wait till y'all come in before I start talking and going on my whole little rant. I'm gonna wait till y'all come in first, though. What's going on? I got one person in here already. What's going on to the one individual that popped in? Hit the like button for me as you come in. Man, what's going on, y'all? What's the word? Y'all hit the like button for me as y'all come in. What's going on? Y'all talk to me in the chat. Talk to me. I do talk back. Hope everybody doing well. This evening now it's 4:41, so it's this evening. What's going on, everybody? We got 8 people in here, man. 8 people. I'm glad to see it's growing, it's growing. Isaiah James, what's going on? What's going on, boss? How you feeling? Appreciate you popping in. I know it's like midday and everybody got stuff to do, but I appreciate you popping on real quick for me. Yeah, man. So I wanted to have this conversation, man. Let's talk about it, man. We got 6 people in here. I'm gonna try to give it a few more minutes so I can build up a little bit of steam, a little bit. Let's see if we can get some more people in here. But in the meantime, y'all can talk to me in the chat, and I mean I talk back. So Isaiah, man, y'all got the same name. Isaiah James, what's going on, man? Y'all got the same name, just spelled differently. That's crazy. Y'all come speaking right, but y'all speaking right behind each other. But man, everything all good. I can't complain, man. Blessed. He said, no chin. This might be your cousin, bro. That might be your cousin. Little CJ, man, what's the word? He said, what's up? I was just hitting you on IG asking if you making Isaiah Xavier word of it. Yeah, I'm gonna make it. Probably not today. Probably I'm gonna post it tomorrow. I'm gonna post it tomorrow, bro. I might not make. I got some stuff to do today, but I'm probably gonna post it tomorrow. But okay, man, we got 12 people in here, man. It's building up. So look, I was watching. Jim Jones was on Joe Budden's podcast, and everybody know Jim Jones is a blood, and because he talks about it a lot. It's kind of like part of his identity now. You know what I mean? And so people were asking him about, his blood, him being a blood, and him bringing the bloods. Not bring, he didn't bring it to New York, but he kind of like helped to make bloods in New York mainstream. And when he talks about it, people want to know, like, people talk about Jim like, Jim, you too old to be jacking this gang life so heavily, so heavily. And so Jim says the Bloods, they no different than a fraternity. It's a fraternity, basically it's the same thing. You know what I mean? Like it's in so many words, it's the same thing. Only thing is different, really. He's like, he was like, there and being in a fraternity, you got connections to uh employment opportunities, so on and so forth. Once you leave college, all of that, you have connections to different industries, different it's networking opportunities in fraternity life versus being a blood per se. Even though I think he did he try to say you get connection, something like that, right? They are the same. Fraternity have more power in the real world. Now John Lee. People might say I'm biased. I am a brother of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Um, and this is an open conversation, so you can disagree with me for sure. Um, he says networking opportunity. I mean, yeah, it is. And I think he did mention that point. Um, so I want to get to all of it. Is it the same thing? So generally, when people join gangs, they're joining it in the aspect that they're joining a criminal enterprise. Okay. I'm from Chicago, Illinois, which is gangland, right? When people join gangs, they are often selling drugs in the name of the gang. They're often committing violence in the name of the gang. They're often doing all type of different scams and schemes in the name of the gang, right? Um, so again, only difference is that the intentions aren't criminal. It's a lot of it's several differences. One, uh, one is the fact that there are prerequisites that have to be met in order to be a part of a fraternity, right? You have to have a certain grade point average. You have to be in college, enrolled in school. Um, you have to have done community service, so on and so forth. Like community service is mandatory when you're in a fraternity. Uh, on some gang ish. Oh yeah, because you cannot wear. So yeah, he was my to Kappa Alpha Psi, the fraternity I'm a part of. He wore the letters KA Psi, and legally you cannot do that as a not when you're not a member of the fraternity. You can actually get sued for that. Right now, you got old heads who be willing to fight about, like, you know what I mean? Right? You got old heads really willing to fight about it, like get to take that shirt off, ooh, but you can get sued. James, honestly, if you have those letters on, if you continuously wear them and not a member of the organization, you could be sued. That's like if I wear, I mean, that's what any fraternity, sorority, so on and so forth. They are prerequisites for a game. They just don't let anyone in because they want. Yes, the prerequisites. So yes, they are prerequisites, but they are tied to two different purposes. You know what I mean? Nah, gangs be letting anybody in though, because not anybody, but they be having a lot of be like there's a lot of people that just be in gangs just because they in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? Just because they have money. Hell, Chris Brown is a blood. Why is Chris Brown a blood? Because he got money and he can be extorted. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, you don't even have to be from their neighborhood for real. You know what I mean? You just gotta, if you got some money, you can get in certain gangs in certain areas. You can't do that in Chicago. You know, white fraternity let rich folks in too, though. I mean, yeah. You, hold on one second, y'all. My bad. My bad, y'all. But yeah, now in fraternity, I will say here are some similarities. Similarities are you have hand symbols, you have colors, you have initiation process, um, you have what else? Hand signs, colors, you have handshakes, like I say, initiation process. Um, yeah, and that's really about majority of the similarities, right? But he said, this seriously a conversation. Jimmy has been saying a lot of stupid ish lately. He need to call it a day at this point, or his mama need to bring him in the house. The street lights are on. Yeah, so Jim is doing this to try to condone his gang banging, right? Um, like if your dad was part of the frat, they might give you no, If you're a little kid, ain't nobody gonna like when you say give you a pass, you saying giving you a pass to wear the letters. if you're a little kid, ain't nobody gonna do nothing to you. You're a little kid, right? But even if your dad, if my father is a member of a fraternity, and if I'm 32, but let's just say I'm 22, and I can't wear the letters of the fraternity he's in because that's my father. I'm not in the fraternity. You know what I mean? So I can't put those letters on. You know, um, one of Jimmy would rather his son join a gang over fraternity. Right? That's a great point. It's a great point to make. It's a great point to make. So the significant difference between the two is that one is a criminal. One, you're joining uh under the premise of a criminal enterprise. The other is founded they're at academic institutions, and the main core of it is community service. Like I said, we have to do, like, bro, as a brother at Kappa Alpha Psi, we have, like, when we were in school, we had to do community service. It was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Tutoring kids, youth mentoring programs. We had to clean up highways. We had to work at soup kitchens. Like, we had to have food drives. Like, we had to. Like, it was no, like, you can't, maybe you can. Like, no, it had to be done. What else? Yeah, we had to maintain a certain grade point average. If your grade point average drops below a certain thing, you cannot be active. Like, you can't even be like around, at like participating in step shows. You can't be in any of that. You can't be what else? Yeah, you can't participate in none of the on-campus activities if your GPA is not at a certain level. You can't even join unless you have a certain GPA. Matter of fact, when you get in fraternity, you got to have interviews. You got to pass tests, everything. So you got to. It's not like you got to pass tests, like real tests, all of that. You know. So what's the benefits of being in a fraternity outside of college? Well, the hopes is that it can help with networking, right? For example, y'all know, like, I lost my job, right? The other day I'm in Walmart. I see a brother with a Kappa Alpha Psi hat on. I see him. I say, yo, Noob, we talk, whatever. He get my information. Okay, look, we're gonna see if we can find you a job somewhere out here. We're gonna see if we can find you somewhere that you could job somebody, a brother that got connections to a job to help you find your footing. You know what I mean? So networking opportunities like that. That's really the purpose of it. You know what I mean? And also to continue to do community service for youth. Kappa has an organization called Kappa League for young black boys. Not young black, well, not just young black boys, but mainly young. They're in black communities. You know what I mean? So mentoring programs to keep mentoring the youth, keep the hand on the youth. Like, we was doing that in school. Like, kids that were probably not even going to be Kappas when they grew up at all, like when they got older, still mentoring the youth, giving back to the community, you know what I mean? And then networking with each other, you know? So like I said, me knowing I'm out of a job, if I see a Kappa at the store, he talking to me, he's like, what you do? Because the first thing he asked me, what type of work do you do? Right? Guide, right? There we go. Come on, Lou. Come on, guide, right? Guide, right program, all of that. So those are the purposes of it. Can they exile you if you ain't? No, not at all. Not at all. They cannot, like, bro, I'm not active currently because we got to pay like membership dues. We got to pay membership dues. I'm not active, but I'm still recognized as a Kappa. I just can't, being active is certain things you can't do. Like, if I have a little cousin that's trying to be a Kappa, I cannot write him a letter of recommendation because I am not active, but I am still always acknowledged as a Kappa. They're going to see me. What's going on? I'm never going to be exiled because I'm not active. It's just certain things I can't write anybody a letter of recommendation. You know what I mean? So to be in the organization if I'm not actively paying dues. So that's how they work. But I'm always a Kappa. Nobody going to say you're not a Kappa no more because you ain't pay your dues. You're not active. You're not paying your dues. Like, no, that's not how that works. She said Jim Jones goofy as yeah. So Jimmy again, Jimmy's trying to justify his gangbang because a lot of people are making fun of him and looking at him like silly, like, bro, what are you doing? You're 50, you're almost 50, and you love throwing up a flag, repping a flag, gang banging, and talking about gang stuff. And so people are, yeah, they questioning his morals and moral compass, so on and so forth. And I think he's trying to justify it by saying we know different than fraternities, and within fraternities, But again, majority of the time, gangs work as a criminal enterprise. They committing a lot of scams and schemes. They move in weight, you know. They move in weight, all of that. Said finna listen to your Isaiah Stewart video. That dude is a menace. Yeah, he always fight, man. That's all he do. Always fighting. Say exactly. He said at least frat connections can connect you to legitimate business opportunities. The same things a gang won't be able to do for 50-year-olds. Yeah. Said Jim Jones. Yeah, Jimmy, man. He's an old hello fella teenagers. Yeah, man. Like, hello, fellow teenagers. Hello, fellow. Yeah, man. Jim. Uh, Man, it's kind of strange to me, man. As older as Jim has gotten, he's kind of getting more childish with certain mindset in a certain way. Kevin Samuels Kappa, same fraternity I'm in. Yeah, Kevin Samuels the Kappa. Thank you for answering. I'm from the hood and don't know much though. I've been to a lot of frat parties due to having fam that's in the fraternity, but yeah, fraternity is not a criminal game, more so a fam. Yeah, nah, for sure, man. I'm like, again, it's an open conversation. Like, I'm not gonna attack anybody that has certain um, comments they want to make, or like have questions or anything like that. I'm here to answer them because I know there were things that I didn't know about a fraternity until I got to college, so on and so forth. The late Alan Roger Curry. I don't, bro. Who's that? Enlighten me. I don't. But yeah, man. So when Jim said that, I'm like, man, Jim, no, no, Jim. Dating coach. Oh, no, no, no. I never heard of him. I never heard of him. I gotta look him up, Cully. Alan Roger Curry. Never heard of him. He was in a fraternity. Oh, he was in Kappa. Oh, wow. I did not know him. That's crazy. Yeah, man, it's a lot of uh famous we got a lot of famous brothers in the fraternity. You got we got the basketball holy trinity. I would say, I mean that in a funny way, like, knock on wood, you know what I mean? Kappa Alpha Psi got Bill Russell, Oscar Robinson, Wilt Chamberlain. So I wouldn't say Jim Jones is getting more childish, but rather more senile. He said senile. Chris Brown be doing the same stuff. Join a game based in a city he was never connected to, in a state he's not even from, starting at an age where he had a 401k and kids trying to bang. Now, yes, that's a fact. And so when somebody said anybody just can't join the game, I'm like, well, Chris Brown them did. Like, they do it, and Chris is really getting extorted. Um, and I know people are not gonna like that, but Chris was in his 20s, like 23, joining the game again in a place he's not from, got really no connections to, all for the sake of looking tough. You know what I mean? All for the sake of wanting a street appeal attached to his name. And so I just thought it was foolish because, yeah, like and Chris did it for a tough appeal. Every time he's speaking about blood, it's it's to be tough. When he putting it on Pyru or something, it's to be tough. It's not the same. Oh man, these are my guys. These are my brothers. It's for to be tough, to try to be to get street credibility, get edge to him. So yeah, like, say Chris Brown is a clown in the fake. Is that he got pressed? Chris got pressed. I ain't. Did he get pressed? I didn't even know that. Say Chris Brown is a clown in the fake game. Yeah, man. I think, man, I want to have conversations about certain things. I feel like him saying it is like a fraternity. Uh, I think that's it's a dangerous rhetoric, man. Then you got kids out here thinking that, oh, do we the same thing? No, Like when we like as a brother of Kappa Alpha Psi, if I see another member of another organization in the street, I'm not about to try to pull out a weapon and a firearm and eliminate him. I'm not going to try to fight another member of an organization on site. We don't have like that's not a in gang culture. You have enemies, you have opposition, and when you see your opposition, it's not going to go well majority of the time. Like in Chicago, bro, Mars will be on public transportation and see their enemy, and it can go down right there. And Kappa Alpha Psi, we don't got no enemies, so like we have no opposition at all. Like I'm not going around and I'm looking for some like no. I don't gotta watch over my back as a brother of Kappa Alpha Psi. I don't. Um, you said, bro, I just seen a video of you talking about Stevie Knight. I just wanted to let you know that his family, his girl's family, is from Croatia, so they most likely aren't offended by Malcolm X and anything like that. That's all. Um, enlighten me about Croatia. That I mean, I wouldn't. Hold on, gotta blame Pac too. He started this gangster persona in hip hop when he wasn't really from there. Ooh, man, that is a powerful conversation to rule us back. That's a powerful conversation. Um, yep. Because I always look at Pac. Y'all both said the same thing, SL. It never leads to anything good, especially when you don't have organic ties to these type of things. I love Tupac, but he practically did the same thing CB did, and look what happened. It's a fact, right? And SL rule is back, y'all. I love Pac, but I always said him attaching himself to Mob Pyru was the worst thing he's ever done in his life. Right now, again, there were Bloods all through Death Row, but you make the music. You don't try to claim that you Pyru tattooing MOB because MOB did not stand for money over BITCHs. Y'all know what that MOB stood for. Him getting that on him. You knew what that was for, right? Him wanting to be a Blood. And he attacking Orlando Anderson was in the name of blood, not in the name of death row. It was in the name of being a blood, right? And there are consequences and repercussions to those things when you do that. I always told people, I always make the same argument. If I'm in Chicago, right? If Lil Durk signed me to his record label OTF, it's a lot of black disciples in there. And if I join that record label and I see a rival gangster disciple, a rival of Lil Durk's on the street, and I walk up to him and punch him, brother, them brothers are going to try to eliminate me. It's consequences and repercussions to that. Like I cannot insert myself in that. That don't got nothing to do. I'm here to make the music. I'm here to be the talent, you know. And Pac doing that did land him in a whole lot of. It landed. It had his life being taken from him. Being for real, people don't want to say it, but that's why Pac is no longer here because he was attaching himself to gang ties that he didn't have to be a part of. He could have just been a rapper, and that would have been perfectly fine. But putting himself in that, it led to ultimately to a lot of chaos. You know what I mean? Jim Jones, you said Lil Durk ain't saying an ish now, right? Of course not. Of course not. But you know, I'm making a analogy that if, like, you know, I was trying to think of somebody in Chicago that got gang ties or whatever. You know what I mean? Tupac was a Black Panther. Well, his mother and father were Black Panthers for sure. Pac spoke some revolutionary things at times, but I will say this: Pac at many times was a very emotional person and conflicted individual. You know, conflicted, very conflicted person. And interpersonally, he was very conflicted. So he would say conflicting things at times and have conflicting messages. You know, said Croatia, Serbia, and Bosnia used to be a single country called Yugoslavia, and they were slaves out of that long. But I don't really know any racist people from that area. You heard that phone call Dirk and Kanye had when he was locked up. Dirk sounded real humble. Yeah, of course, jail gonna humble you. Jail gonna have you in a being in prison. I can only imagine. I don't want to. I mean, I don't want to experience that at all in any way. But I can only imagine. Definitely will humble you. Panthers were destroyed from CIA and FBI. They were the greatest socialist movement. So there are some merits to Jim Jones saying that Southern University fraternity kid their young man initiation college are similar to those in the streets, but they call it hazing. Yes, now there are now again. There have been incidents of hazing, not incidents, hazing, where people have lost their lives. I will never, and rest in peace to that young brother Caleb. What is his last name? Wilson, right? Because that nobody should be dying in uh, fraternity processes. Nothing, none of the sort. In fact, hazing is illegal. Is not supposed to be happening at all. It's not. It's not. But you got people that still go against the grain and still want to do certain things like that, right? So, um, they still want to engage in hazing, but it's illegal. Hence, that's why they're going to jail. Even if Caleb did not lose his life, if they were found out that they were hazing, they were going to go to jail regardless. Like, so, because it's illegal in general, and nobody has to die for you to go to jail. But that young man passing away, heinous, heinous, and they going to jail. You know what I mean? As they should, right? Because nobody should be losing their life in any of that. And with that being said, um, yes, street gangs, they partake in hazing initiation, so on and so forth. But the thing with that is, will I blame Pop for the gangster image Black have now? The thing with that is, what was I gonna say? In gangs, once you like, it seemed like when you're in gangs, after you already have become a member, you got to keep proving yourself, proving your toughness, proving, you know what I mean? Like you gotta keep standing on front lines. You gotta keep putting your life in harm's way, keep putting yourself in danger, which again, there's supposed to be no hazing in college fraternities at all. But you still got people that go against the grain and do it, right? But let's just say even after that, and I'm not excusing hazing in no way, shape, form, or fashion. It's not supposed to be done. I'm against it. I'm firmly against it, strongly against it. But in the incidents of hazing, where nothing happens and people get past that, nobody supposed to be pressing no line on you or having your life in like your life is not supposed to be in danger at any point. Being in a fraternity. So I never understood joining gangs why someone would choose to handicap their life and put themselves in danger. On top of that, I think people shouldn't even do dirt, so they don't consider snitching. I can't imagine sending my son to college and finding out he had his life taken from some punks trying to haze him. The entire university will be paying more facts. I'm heartbroken for that young brother, that young man family, that young brother family. That is the worst thing in the world. Worse than you suing the draws off of everybody. Everybody getting sued. Everybody. You know, that's a fact. That is a fact. But that ain't never supposed to be happening in no fraternity life. That's never supposed to be happening. Nobody dying, losing their life. Hazing not supposed to be happening. This is not supposed to be happening. So, look at TK. That brother aged like 20 years. He only 24 years old. His neck all cut up and swollen in prison. Yeah, man. People think it's a game, but I promise you, the U.S. criminal system will f you up worse as a black person than anybody else. And we know this. That's a fact. That is a fact. So when I speak about like gang culture, I'm speaking about the things that like gang culture in Chicago, right? Because I grew up, I wasn't adjacent to it. It was in my direct line of sight every day. When I stepped out the house, I was always like, bro, in Chicago, I was always living in gang neighborhoods all the time. We moving wherever my mama's Section 8 taking us. So we gonna be in certain hoods. So you step out your front door, you can see what's going on. I had people in the streets and gangs in my family, like directly in my family. So I saw what come with that. I saw the elements of criminal enterprise that takes place in gangs in neighborhoods that I came from. You know what I mean? I saw drug bust taking place in neighborhoods that I lived in. I saw dudes on in my neighborhood, living life on a damn, like they have to live it, like you have to live your life on an island when you're a gang member. In a fraternity, bro, you can't, we can't go here, we can't go there. You can't go here. Somebody gonna do something to you over here, over there. And that ain't like that. You know what I mean? It ain't like once, as a brother Cap Alpha Psi, no way I can't go. I'm looking over my shoulder, looking like somebody's waiting to eliminate me off of this earth. But in gangs, that's the reality. That's the reality. It's somebody out here trying to get at you. I don't know one gang that don't have any opposition. Fraternities don't have opposition. Like we ain't got no. I'm not seeing an alpha ready to fight. I'm not seeing a Q dog trying to fight an omega, trying to fight. I'm not seeing a sigma trying to fight them. I'm not seeing an iota trying to rumble with them. It's just not a thing. Most people who join gangs are followers who can't stand on their own too. Out here, real talk. The whole part about gangs is it started as a police force to support and protect this community from the real enemy. Over time, it became a crime enterprise business. Yeah, over time, criminal enterprise and criminal aspects got involved. And when criminal aspects get involved, that changes the whole organization. You're not going to see brothers out here. So yes, individually, have members of fraternities went to jail. Yes, right. Have members of fraternities um um been in prison? Yes, they are. But those people are not engaging in crime in the name of the organization. You know what I'm saying? There's not like, oh, we doing credit card fraud in the name of Kappa Alpha Psi. We are out here selling drugs in the name of Omega Psi Phi. We out here for Omega Psi Phi. We out here, um, scamming people in the name of the fraternity. That's not how that works. College ain't the same no more. And what way? Facing east. What's going on? Hold on, y'all. Yeah, I did the same thing. Hold on. So college ain't the same. No, I'm tripping. Yeah, college. What way they not? What way is college not the same? Roseball. Let me hear your opinion. Perhaps look out for your better interests and competitive only in academic sports gangs or criminal groups that destroy and tear down the community. Perhaps make suggestible men gangs don't. I would agree. He said Whitlock called Black Fresh demonic, said he couldn't rock with the ritual. Like when people be talking about rituals, I don't be like I didn't partake in none of that. So I don't know what to, like yeah. I don't know what people are referring to when they say that. Because I don't partake in none of the stuff that they're talking about. But no, what he was saying was that competitive only in academic sports, criminal groups that destroy. So, like I said, when I was talking about me living, growing up in Chicago, that that was a reason why I didn't join a gang for real. Um, Me being in fraternity, uh, I eventually became a member of a fraternity, right? So me being who I am, bro, jail not for me. It's just not a place I want to be. I need to be. I don't never want to put my life in danger. I don't never want to have my life take like I don't never want to be and have my life in a line of fire. I don't ever want to have to go against my moral compass and my code of ethics, which I did not to be a fraternity member. I did none of that, none of that. And I knew being in the fraternity, I was not putting my life in danger. I was not making enemies of people. Like, cause I could have easily. I'm not saying like it's the thing to do. But again, I grew up in gang infested neighborhoods. I could have easily went out and been like, all right, I want to be down with what y'all got going on. I could have done that, right? But I knew what came with that. You got to commit all type of crimes. You got to be in the street. You got to live your life on an island. Listen, man. So there was this basketball player from a famous hood in Chicago, right? Famous hood. Matter of fact, so I told y'all this before. Is a dude. It's a dude from a famous hood in Chicago. Matter of fact, this dude is from G Herbo's hood, right? Y'all know the rapper G Herbo. I think all y'all know him, right? Um, Herb is from a hood called No Limit. Now, No Limit got a lot of enemies. They got a lot of enemies. My homie was taking somebody home that was from No Limit, right? The dude in the car with him, my homie, my homie taking him home. He telling my homie, don't go down this block. Come up this way, go around the back way, come up this street, go down this street. Don't go down this street. Don't go down that far. They'll shoot the car if we go down here. Go this other way. Don't like it's like all like man. Kid Car, how did you know who I'm talking about? That's crazy. That's exactly who I'm talking about, Kid Car. Yeah. Wow. I gotta watch what I'll be talking about on here. Y'all be knowing some stuff. Y'all be knowing some stuff. Man, y'all be knowing some stuff. I gotta watch you on talking. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. Cause they No Limit is into it with a lot of people. So he know in certain places. My homie driving him to the crib. They come from hooping. Can't go down this street. Can't go down that street. You see, your brother knew about it already and told you about it. Yeah. Fabian was nice too. Fabian was nice. But yeah, that's who he was taking home. You so yeah. I wasn't gonna say I wasn't gonna say the name, but you confirmed it. So yeah. So I could never live life like that, bro. And this ain't no disrespect to Fabian. Fabian from where he from, you know, he lost his brother out here. You know what I mean? He lost his big brother. He from where he from. That's the block he grew up on. It's the block he raised from. I knew that wasn't for me, y'all. I couldn't live my life like that. You know what I mean? So I did not join a gang. I knew when I joined a fraternity, I was never gonna be like having to be in that type of living on that island. I knew that I was never gonna be in that type of situation where I can't go over here. Somebody see me, it's gonna be smoke when they see me. Like, nah. Most people are not cut for jail whatsoever. Recidivism is high due to the utter lack of opportunity once they get out, not because they enjoyed it. They're trapped in a system made to have them coming back. Yeah. You say I seen a picture he had with her. Yeah, he really No Limit though, for real. 1 second, y'all. Hold on. Yup, yeah, man. The system is set up against it is, man. Like, listen, so I didn't told y'all. Uh I have an uncle. He really this individual I'm talking about is really my cousin, but he's so much older than us, like so much older than me. We called him uncle, right? Um, and so being that we called him uncle, how long? You said what was your GPA to maintain your frat status? I'm trying to remember what it was. I always had higher than what it was required, but it was at least a 2.75. You had at least had that. It was near a 3.0, like near a 3.0. Yeah, damn. Yeah, it was near that. Like a 2.75, 2.75. Listen, I remember when yeah. Some of the like one of the brothers that was the advisor for Kappa, he wasn't even trying to take brothers that really like at one point he looking like you ain't got no 3.0, don't come over here. That's how he was looking at you don't got no 3.0 grade point. You ain't got no 3.0, don't you come over here now. One of the advisors, he was like that at one point, but yeah, you had to maintain at least a 2.75. Back then, at least, yeah. Nah, but my homie Kid Car, he know a lot of stuff, man. He know a lot of stuff. But yeah, man, like, okay, so when I was telling y'all about my cousin who's like an uncle to me, he did 11 years, right? 11 years in prison, and did time in prison before that, right? I'm gonna get with him and have him tell y'all his life story on here, man. He has one of the craziest life stories you could ever imagine, you could ever even hear about. Uh, but yeah, like coming out of jail, ain't too many opportunities for him. It's not. He didn't been in and out of jail much of his whole life. There's not too many opportunities, man. And yeah, he was in a gang. He was in a gang, you know. So a lot of the stuff he was doing was in name of that said gang. In name of that said gang. What do you think of Ari Spears telling LeBron to sit your A down? I mean, I'm not surprised coming from Ari Spears. Aries is not a LeBron guy. I heard the take though. Like I listen to people objectively just to listen to what they're saying. But it wasn't about Bronny. What I think a lot of people are missing is that LeBron didn't have an issue with Bronny being criticized. It was Stephen A. Smith questioning his fatherhood about you exposing your son like this, and as a father, I'm pleading with you, stop it. You exposing your son like this, all of that. That's why I got LeBron upset, not people criticizing Bronny, because people have been criticizing Bronny since day one, since he played his first summer league game. You know what I mean? So yeah, Aries is one of those clock is right twice a day type dude. Yeah, because he'll say some things that I agree with. And then they're like, oh, I don't agree with that. 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 Aries, I always laugh at Aries' New York bias. He got a New York East Coast bias all the way. Like every rapper that he loves is all East Coast, except Eminem. Eminem, the only one that's not East Coast that he got up in there. Aries has said that basically people in the South are they're a little too slow for his comedy in so many words. He said, my comedy is chess, not hungry, hungry hippos. Right. And I've eviscerated him on the channel for saying something like that. People, funny is funny, regardless of where you are. Bernie Mac got laughs everywhere he went. That's for a reason. You know, Cat Williams has gotten laughs everywhere he's gone, not in just one region. When you're funny, you're funny. It's transferable across all regions. So yeah, are you going to do a rant on Charleston White? Man, you know what, Calvin? I was definitely going to light a fire on the dude. I might. It's just like, man, bro, it's all like I don't know what else he got to do for people to just realize who he is, but it's going to be people that make excuses for every single thing Charleston White does. Somebody going to be like, you got to understand. He was just playing a character. He was playing a character to get a point across. You got to understand him. I know it's coming. Somebody go, you got to understand where he be coming from when he's saying there's somebody somewhere that's gonna be doing that, man. And it's like, what the hell am like, man, it's crazy, but he's very ignorant. And I've elaborated on his ignorance on the channel so many times before, but I might just still do it, Calvin. Forget it. Because ignorance deserves to be called out. So I probably will get around to doing it, man. To be honest with you. I went back home to Dallas and bro, I ran into Charleston. Yeah, do he live in Dallas or Fort Worth? How close is Dallas and Fort Worth? How close is that? Look, my daughter used to live in Grand Prairie, which is like a suburb of Dallas. She lived there for like 2 years. And I went out there, I went to Cowboy Stadium on a tour and stuff like that. I was be out there visiting my daughter, but yeah. He said, don't do it. He's one of those people that thrives off the attention. That's what keeps his platform running. He knows what he's doing. Same bucket as Fresh and Fit and all of them. Right. Yep. Practically shock jocks in modern form. Yeah. Yeah. Because anytime when people make a comment about something he says, he continues it. He continues going. He said, we call all of it Dallas. Okay, got you. He continues Going with it. You right. As soon as somebody asks somebody, what do you think about what Charleston White said? When somebody gives an opinion, here he go, lighting that person up. That's how he keeps his machine churning. That's how he keep making the money. Facts. Charleston White needs to take of his money and take all of his money and buy a new eye immediately. Crazy boy. Man, he said we call all of it Dallas. Man, speaking of Dallas, man, I'm ready for Errol Spence to get back to the ring, man. EJ been gone so long, man. He been gone so long. It's like, man, the boxing streets need my boy, man. Charles, I'm thinking I saw something new, but yeah, throw Charleston White in there. Yeah, put him up in there. He get whooped on. All Charleston gonna do try to grab a weapon or some mace. He's not the same, man. Yeah. Being out the ring, man. Well, been out the ring, been there 2 years. So yeah, EJ was my boy, man. Still my boy, man. Still my boy. Still my boy. Man, I used to always be liking when Arrow was in the mix of boxing. Fighting was exciting too. Yeah, Arrow fighting. Because Arrow never took tumors. He fought top competition every single time, which is exciting for a boxing fan like myself. You know, gave us all the fights we wanted to see. I wish he never would have hurt that eye so we could have seen him fight Manny Pacquiao. That Manny Pacquiao fight would have been crazy. That's something that would have been, I would have loved to see that. That Manny Pacquiao, him and Manny Pacquiao, that would have done numbers. For real. But yeah, he said throw Charleston need to get his head bust by. He might pull out some mace or something. Ain't no telling. That brother might pull out some mace, all type of stuff. 100%. He busts his head to the white meat. Bernie. That's my guy, man. Shout out to Bernard McCullough, aka or better known as Bernie Mac. Southside Chicago, brother, man. I always laugh every time like when the Bernie Mac show is so underrated, man. That show is phenomenal. My daughter loves that show. You know, my daughter, she's 14. She's discovered a lot of the shows that I grew up watching, right? It's the best sitcom based off a comedian I've ever seen. For real. Super relatable, man. And what was real SL? You know, I never noticed this until Kalita Smith, who played Aunt Wanda, till she pointed this out. She like, you know, we one of the only shows that didn't have a laugh track. Like, you know how the show would have, a lot of the shows had people laughing in the background. Like they didn't need it. Because they didn't have to tell you when to laugh. You just laugh because the stuff was funny. Bernie and his interaction with them kids, all of that, you didn't need it. Like, that's when you know a show is good. When they're not trying to tell you when, okay, now it's time to laugh. Like, no. Bernie, that show was so relatable across so many levels. Bernie reminds me of my dad. You know, the kids were so done at Jordan, Vanessa, Nessa. My mama used to call my older sister Nessa. That's like her name. My sister named Ebony, but she used to call her like Navy acting like my sister Ebony be acting like Vanessa, right? Oh my God. My little sister, baby girl. Yeah, man. They actually acted like they were related in real life. Yeah, man, it felt so real, you know, and it felt like when you saw them, you want to ask, man, where Bernie at, man? Like it just felt like they were a real family. That laugh track came from Minstrel Show where they made fun of us. Oh wow. Did not know that. You just educated me on something. You educated me on something for real. They weren't cracking jokes that you can tell an adult. Right, exactly. That you could tell an adult wrote them. It was like real, man, there's some stuff as a kid I would have done for real. You know, my daughter, she loves that show. And again, man, I gotta talk about that. The Bernie Mac show, man. Bernie had a hell of a show, and it was so funny is at the end of Kings of Comedy, he was the only one that didn't have a show. Well, Cedric was featured on Steve's show. D.L. Hughley had the Hughleys. Then Bernie didn't have a show yet. They made the Bernie Mac show, and the Bernie Mac show went on to be the best show of all of them. Now, I did like the Steve Harvey show. I did like that show. But Bernie Mac show, man, what? And Bernie was able to be authentically himself on the show. Always wearing Chicago Bears apparel. Always having Chicago stuff in the house. Always keeping, I'm living out here in California, but I'm from Chicago. It was like, man, he said they didn't need DL. Calvin, y'all give DL a bad rap as far as comedy goes. Now he didn't have I don't like his set on Kings of Comedy. I really don't like DL's set. I think that's one of his worst sets, for real. But I believe he's a funny comedian for sure. I just think I don't think he had a funny set on Kings of Comedy. People say I used to look like Jordan because I had the low cut with the glasses when I was young. Jordan, hey, y'all remember when Bernie thought Jordan was in gymnastics, right? Jordan was in gymnastics. Bernie thought Jordan was gonna be like on the little things, pulling himself up on the things or on the little beam or something like that. When he found out that Jordan was the ribbon twirler, and Bernie came and had all his friends at the damn at the damn gymnasium, and he saw Jordan come out there twirling that ribbon, he was Bernie was in there. That boy was appalled, boy. Oh, he was appalled. What I like even more is that it wasn't hyper focused, that they were upper middle class, right? You could just tell they were well off, but let the slice of life speak for itself. Facts. Man, like in shows like Grownish, they remind you every 5 seconds that the parents are a doctor and a marketing director. I've never watched Grownish in my life, bro. I've heard about it, but I can imagine, okay, that's what Kenya Barris, that's his show, right? That's his show. So they remind you they're a doctor and marketing director every time. He said, you don't need to watch it. You look like a childhood friend of mine, as you both like to smile and seem like you get along with people well. Yeah. I ain't never had no problem with people. You know what I mean? Unless you disrespected me or you try to disrespect my children, then I got a big problem with you. Jordan was the ribbon twirler. For real, he said, I'm not a fan. People be having a lot of critique for Kenya Barris shows. A lot of critiques for it. Kenya Barris made black sitcom for white. Yes, I've never watched his shows, bro. It's so crazy because he did Blackish. I know it's gonna sound crazy. I've never watched Blackish a day in my life, and I like I like Anthony Anderson. I like Tracy Ellis Ross. I think Girlfriends was an outstanding show. Lawrence Fishburne is on there, right? He makes appearances on it. Is he one of the fathers of one of the individuals on the show? Yeah, but I've never seen it. Hold on, y'all. He said you ain't missing nothing. He said Kenya Barris make black sitcoms for white folks, boy. Make it digestible for them. Man, I've never seen none of his shows. You got Blackish, Grownish. I heard Mixed-ish. Larry Fishburne played Ike Turner way too well. He did play that very well. Man, played it very well. Oh my God. I say, yo, Lawrence Fishburne, how you scared of him? You was a kid. He gonna come in and slap the hell out of all of us. What's my man that played Joe Jackson? Lawrence Hilton Jacobs or something. What was his name? Y'all know old boy from Cooley High. Y'all know the man who played Joe Jackson in the Jackson 5 docuseries? I was scared as hell of him. Like, I'm like, oh, he mean than a motherfucker. I would be looking at him like, oh no, man, I couldn't. He was giving Joe Jackson for real. Yeah, boy. Michael, go get my switch. Go get my switch. Taking the leaves off the switch. I was scared as hell of him. Like, hey man, he gonna come in and whoop all our ass up in here. He ain't playing with no, even the grown people. He got a belt for all us up in here. Like, man, I was like, yo, as a kid, I was like, man, I wouldn't want to be nowhere around him at all. Eat the cake, anime. This is good cake, baby. Eat the cake. Then our friend ran up, he slapped the hell out of him. Wow. I say, hey, no, man. And wasn't that his homeboy girl that he slapped? You ain't gonna whoop Ike ass for hitting your woman. Wasn't that his woman? You not finna whoop Ike ass, man. You got to whoop the what? Ike ain't hitting my woman. I ain't gonna be sliding across the damn counter, head under the damn table. I ain't playing them game. What? Who I think? Who do I think he is, man? But yeah, man. So they be doing those, son. You don't do the head nod to other black though, son. How you not know the nod? Hold on. What'd you say? They be doing those, son. You don't do the head nod to other black folks. But we're black though, son. How do you not know the nod? Who you talking about? What you call it? Um, yeah, man. Speaking of them Kenya Berry shows, I ain't never seen one of them. I ain't never seen one of his shows. Oh, that's from Blackish. Oh, it man. There was a whole episode dedicated to that. Hold on. That he didn't know the head, the universal head, now black folks do the folks. I just don't like the show where when I just don't like shows where you can tell that they're trying to explain black culture to white folks. Oh man, what? Yeah, I'm with you. Like, we ain't got to do no explaining. Oh, well, this is just a sign of endearment from one black man to another when we're in white spaces and we don't see any other black people. And we ain't got to be explained. Just do the gesture. Just do the gesture, man. Y'all do know that story wasn't all the way true about Ike. What they say? Ike Tina was fighting him? White people probably like, yeah, I ain't, yeah. Kenya is probably writing these shows trying to explain, like you said, trying to explain um blackness to people. Man, y'all know, man, I watched a reaction to the movie Django the other day. And this is off topic. You know, and I watched a reactor react to the movie. It was just too much damn laughing in there for me. Like, yeah, Django had some funny parts, but slavery was an atrocity, you know. So yeah, she was right there with him. They both went at each other. Yeah, I think I heard some. I don't know who said that. I think I heard that not too long ago. I think I heard that not too long ago. She even admitted herself, but they erased that footage. He said, "I'm not mad at Sam Jackson for playing that role." What role? What was I just talking about? SL. Everybody Hates Chris was phenomenal. Like, and that's one of the most underrated shows ever. Because again, SL, like your dad, that show described my father to a T. The work uniform, my dad was a cable contractor. The work uniform he wore, being cheap, you know what I'm saying? Dad ain't taking no mess. Dad be in there asleep, you know what I mean? Trying to get his rest. Oh, Sam Jackson, yeah, Django. Yeah, he snapped. He did an excellent job in that role, 100%. He did an excellent job. It's the most despicable role. One of the most despicable roles that you will see in what is considered like a historical. It's not a historical. I mean, well, I guess it is. It's not like an actual person they were basing this off of, but it goes back into the time of slavery, right? But Steven, yeah, man, he played that role well, very well. Yeah, but my dad was Julius. My dad is Julius to the T. My sister called him Julius. My sister called my dad Julius. My dad cheap about everything. Everything too high for him. Hey man, this look kind of high now. This is a little high. You like what? The PJ, my daughter loves the PJs, y'all. And I always say my daughter is going back and watching shows I used to watch. She loved the PJs. That is her show. She know the whole theme song. I wish I had my daughter on here with me right now. She loved the PJs. For real. I never watched the episode of Everybody. Yo, Everybody Hates Chris is a phenomenal show, man. It was a really good show. Especially describing their family and like how black people were, like describing it, like showing the actions of a black mama, the black father. You know what I mean? Like, Terry Crews gets a lot of flack, and rightfully so for certain things he's done and said, for sure. But his portrayal of Julius on Everybody Hates Chris, I really enjoy his portrayal of the father Julius on Everybody Hates Chris. For real. Thought it was thought he did a great job with that. Yeah, I've never seen Blackish, Grownish. I've never seen any of those shows. That's why I was telling people, like, I've never seen these shows before. You know what I mean? I know people talk about them a lot. The Kenya Barris shows, Blackish, Grownish, Mixedish. Now I've seen clips of Julie. Yeah. My dad be, hey boy, unplug it. He said, again, you're not missing out. And you're not a fan of that at all. He said, hey, they not really black shows. Yeah, like, to me, bro, it takes a certain type of genius to write a show where black people are affluent and it still feels black in nature. To me, people might disagree. The Cosby Show still felt black, even though they were living in affluence. Like, bruh, Claire Huxtable was a black mama. Black mama for real. I seen Cooley High. Prerequisite in the family, for real. He may have been Julius in the show, but I couldn't unsee Latrell Spencer. Latrell, shout out the white chicks. I unplug all things I don't need to plug in, especially when I'm not home. Everything getting unplugged. Yeah, my dad, boy, look, you don't want that bill. You don't want that bill too damn high. I was at my parents' there watching a different world. I think is on Netflix right now, Jay. It is. A Different World is for. I'm gonna say this, man. I have my gripes with Bill Cosby and certain things he said and done, but the TV shows, the content he created for black people, it was magic. It was gold. The representation of us he had on TV was outstanding, for real. And even though the Cosby family, the Cosbys, they were living in affluence, it still felt like a black show. Grownish is pretty much Kenya Barris' version of A Different World. Okay. Yeah, like, so Jay, a lot of people, my barber, he talks about Spike Lee and Bill Cosby sending a lot of them to college. My barber's in his 50s, his early 50s. He like, yo, Spike Lee made School Days. He sent us to college. A Different World came out. He sent a lot of kids to school. He sent a lot of kids to black colleges with A Different World. For my generation, Drumline and Stomp the Yard sent a lot of us to school. You know what I mean? So, like, these movies, man, like, it really sent black folks on their way. A Different World actually had real black mindsets written into the scripts with problems many black folk actually experience. Facts. A Different World, man. I'm gonna have to do a video on that. So if I had a good thing, I couldn't get into a different. So again, A Different World. I had to be older to really appreciate that show, Stephen B. Watching that as a kid, like, okay, so I'm gonna tell y'all this. I didn't start watching the Cosby Show till I was like 11, 12, when it was coming on Nick at Night. As a little kid, when you 5 and 6, you ain't relating to no damn Cosby. You want to watch cartoons. I remember watching the Cosby Show, and it would comfort me so much, and I couldn't explain why. And I knew what it was. It was black people living in affluence. It wasn't talked about. Their influence wasn't talked about much, even though they showed Heathcliff Huxtable being an OBGYN and all of that, and Claire Huxtable being a lawyer. What it was is that they didn't have financial problems. They didn't have financial issues. And so that was like comforting to me in a way. Coming growing up in a family where, so we not rich. We trying to get it how we get it. And when you see black people on TV living comfortably and still being black, it fed my soul and my spirit in a way I couldn't really describe for y'all. And I couldn't pinpoint it as a kid why I felt so good watching this show, but that is exactly why. In Grownish, the daughter had the daughter had a cushy internship as a freshman in college, living in a single bedroom apartment. Yeah, single bed. Man, single bed. What? We know we got that roommate. We got that roommate, boy. I had my roommate was from Detroit, Michigan, my freshman year. Went to Cass Tech High School. My homie Vesta, that was my dog. He was in the band. And that's when I saw that drumline stuff was real, because he was always with the band. And even the revolutionary things of Grownish reminded me a lot of what the Boondocks was talking about with the fake revolutionary with the Kente cloth. Harambe! 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 I used to watch the Cosby Show in the summertime at my grandma's house with all my cousins in South Carolina. When I would spend some, yo, grandma from South Carolina, kid, what's going on? Yo, people, Kichi. I remember when it came on Nick at Night as well. I love my uncle on here. Unc, what's the word? This my real uncle, man. This is my mama, baby brother. This is who I be watching all the fights with, for real. My uncle put me on the boxing, both of my uncles. But I watched with him. Some people dog the Cosby Show, saying that it wasn't a true representation of black people. Well, I think the problem is a lot of people thought black was monolithic, right? So they looked at Good Times. And while, again, my people from the Robert Taylor Projects in Chicago, constructed similar to Cabrini Green projects, where the people of Good Times were living. Black folks was living like that for sure, but we needed different representations of our people. You know what I mean? Because you had some people that were living affluently and comfortably, some black people, right? And so you needed to show that. You needed to show different sides of the black community. And I'm gonna say this too. I'm so glad Esther Rowe fought for her to have a husband on Good Times, because they really wanted that to be a single mother-led family. But she wanted to make the point that black folks had, it was black fathers that stayed with their family and stayed there. He said we need a boxing review with Uncle. Yeah, Jay, I don't know if you seen my uncle on my channel. It's been a while since we've been on there. My uncle has great boxing commentary. My uncle is Team Terrence Crawford. So, he telling me, nephew, he gonna whoop Earl. But I was so sick, EJ lost that damn fight. I couldn't sleep straight. I was tossing and turning, cornering. I couldn't even sleep straight after the fight, man. I was all messed up. But I know that black people live diverse experiences like every other ethnic group. That's a fact. Different World was able to make the points without them being caricatures. True, man. True, man. I was watching Living Single, right? So one of my favorite reaction channels is Cinepals, and they're reacting to Living Single for the first time because they found out Friends ripped off Living Single. And Cree Summer made an appearance on the show, man. Cree, a cute woman, man. He's like, the dudes are like, oh my God, she's an adorable woman. Cree Summer be getting them checks too. She do a lot of voice acting. He said, nah, most of my family from DC. I think my grandma moved from DC to South Carolina in the 80s. Okay. With my grandma's approval, they sent her home a few years ago. Got you. Let me put it like this. The cast of Kenya Barris sitcoms can be interchangeable with a white cast, even if you don't know a single thing and you'll have the exact same. Wow. Yeah, that now. Yeah. That's when it's like, yeah, I get what you're saying. You could replace them with a white cast and it'll be the same exact thing. Yeah. That ain't no black show. They always used to have us singing or dancing in the opening credits. Yeah, she stayed in that house in South Carolina since like 1989. Got you. You can't say the same. Yeah, you can't replace the family on Everybody Hates Chris with a white family and it be the same show. Not at all. It wouldn't even work right. It wouldn't work right at all. Yeah, just different. Living single. Shout out, man. TC Carson, man. Shout out to TC Carson. TC Carson, man, because he voiced Kratos in God of War originally. Originally, he get that bread, getting that bread, man. Kyle Barker, Kyle Barker, Maxine Shaw, attorney at law, Khadijah James, Regine, all of that. Bernie Sanders on Netflix showed a glimpse into hazing in a D9. Yeah, I mean, and that was a movie based upon uh previous pledging experiences, a person's pledging experiences. You know what I mean? But it's not even supposed to be that though. You know what I mean? Because hazing is illegal, so you're not supposed to be hazing in fraternities. But you got people that still try to do it and get away with it. But if you get caught, you're going to jail. You're going to jail. And remind you, you get caught, you're going to jail. Even if a person does not lose their life, you're going to jail. Abide by, cowboy. John Hinton, who played Overton, is from my home. He from Cleveland. Shout out John. And y'all know John Hinton was actually dating Kim Fields, and like he was dating Kim Fields, even though they had him with Sinclair on the show. He was dating Kim Fields that played Regine. Said, and the black women in those 90 shows was fine as a motherfucker. What? Tachina Arnold? Yeah. As a kid, right? You know, when you're a young man, you go through this little colorist thing. Well, I did when I was like, until I was like, uh, so about like 11, 12, I got out of that. You know, you start seeing all different girls in different colors you really love. When you're a kid, you 5 and 6, you looking at the light skinned girl, the light skin for some reason. The light skinned girls are always highlighted in TV shows and movies and music videos. And I'm not saying that there aren't light skinned women who are beautiful, because there are plenty of them. But just because a person light skinned don't mean they fine. That don't mean just because they like. I didn't see some unattractive light skinned women, a ton of them, right? And as you get older, you realize, yeah, Gina wasn't all that. I mean, she wasn't ugly by any stretch of the imagination, but Gina Arnold, yeah, I like Gina Arnold over her. For real, for real. I like Tashina Arnold over her. This Jet Black magazine. Yeah. Boy, have I. I've seen a lot of ugly light skin. Yeah. So they'll be acting like you weren't watching the Golden Girls. Yeah, I was watching the Golden Girls for real. Yeah. I would take Pam over yeah, Pam, Tachina Arnold, yeah. Facts. Yeah, you boy, I remember this one girl in school, high school. She thought she was so cute because she was light skinned. And I remember one day this dude was like, "Man, she thinks she cute because she light skinned. She is not cute. She just light. That's a fact. She was not. She was just light skinned." I used to read those magazines while my mom did her rounds around the grocery store growing up. Yeah, me and you both. I used to do the same thing, SL. I was crushing on both of them on Martin. You said you hated the Golden Girls, Stephen B. He said he hated that show. He said that shit. He said that show was not for him. All the Golden Girls are deceased now, man. Yeah, hazing is dangerous. Somebody did, and ain't nobody supposed to be passing away from being in a fraternity. That ain't nowhere near the purpose of the organizations. It's not what it was created for. It's not what it's supposed to be about at all. Nobody supposed to be losing their life. Young man, Caleb Wilson, I believe his name. Caleb, was it Caleb Wilson? I believe. And rest in peace to that young brother, man. That is not even what it's supposed to be about at all. Jennifer Freeman was finding that frog here. Oh yeah, for sure. Finding a frog here. At my grandma's house, she had a box full of them Jet magazine. uh, and look, Kid Car, that wasn't even a fraternity. In that FAMU scandal, that was a band. That was band hazing. In 2011 at FAMU, that wasn't even fraternity hazing. I don't think that was band. That was something that was going on within the band, like band hazing. Do you remember the Jamie Foxx? Do you remember the Jamie Foxx radio? What radio show? Yeah, Christina Milian was cold. Love Don't Cost a Thing is one of my favorite movies, man. Love Don't Cost a Thing. What Steve Harvey say? What Steve Harvey say? He was like, Alvin like girls now. He into girls now. He ain't got time to be hanging with y'all scientific looking asses. Y'all scientific looking asses. I don't know why that was so funny to me. Alvin like girls now. He called him scientific looking. Ah! Oh, you. Survey says, yo ass. What your ass? Yo ass. Her ass. She said the top fruit. Survey said. Oh, yo. Oh, yo. Oh, yo. Survey says. I'm from Cleveland, y'all. I'm from Cleveland. Because I'm from Cleveland, y'all. Your damn family gonna be all right. Your damn your damn family. Your damn family gonna be on YouTube, y'all. I'm from Cleveland, y'all. Then Alvin smashed the black. Yeah, the black girl, she was fine. Woo, she was cold too, Stephen B. The black joint she had, she was cold with it. I don't even remember Kyla Pratt, best friend on Fat Albert. I don't even remember who it was. I gotta go back and look at that movie. I remember when we and my bro first saw the Steve Harvey show on the WB back in the day, we were amazed at how straight his hairline was. Yeah, listen, we always thought, man, you got that we used to say that the Steve Harvey line, and his hairline was sharp and crisp. My man had that toupee up there. He had that toupee. You gotta do what you gotta do out here, though. You don't want to go bald? Do what you gotta do. Heck yeah, she was. He still got the main. He did. Still got the main girl. She played in Illegal Tender. With Rick Gonzalez, I'm trying to remember what the girl looked like in there. I ain't seen Illegal Tenders in them. Man, this is like college time. Yeah, Kyla, man, Kyla nice, man. Kyla is nice. She fine. You didn't think much of her before? You know, because Kyla is older than me, I used to look at her on one-on-one. One-on-one was one of my favorite shows. I used to like her on one-on-one. I mean, but you're right, as an adult though, people grow into when they get older, they grow into their beauty even more as they get older. You know what I'm saying? As they get older, their beauty started to stand out and glow for real. Because some people look better as adults than they did as kids. Oh, I remember. I remember. Okay, I think I remember what you're talking about. Yeah, the dark skinned girl on Love Done Cost a Thing was fire. She was fire. She was so cold. She was so cold. Ooh, I bet not ever see her in the street. I see her in the street. I'm gonna hit up with. I'm gonna start singing. I'm like, man, can we talk for a minute? Girl, I need to know your name. Tachina one-on-one was looking, but she was. Yep, she was her mama in the show. She was Kyla's mama. My man Flex and uh Flex Alexander or Flex Washington in the show. What do you think about the Dr. Umar and his daughter situation? Man, I made a whole video on it. The man needs to be there for his daughter. You can't. Now, I've agreed with a lot of things that Dr. Umar has said. I've agreed with a lot of them. Not everything, but I've agreed with a lot of things he said. But you can't talk about building community with Black people if you're not building a community with your daughter. He got 2 daughters, Stephen B. 2 daughters. Yep. You can't talk about community building when you're not building with your children. It starts with your children first. How can I trust that you're going to community build with my children when you're not doing it with your own children? You know what I'm saying? Them your seeds, and you're not building with them. How can I trust that you're going to build with my children? You're going to help my children help build my children up if you're not helping to build your children up. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So one of his daughters said that he's never was in her life for real like that. He never been to any of her graduations, birthdays, etc., stuff like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Flex was on the top. Then he went and did the Man in the Mirror. Oh my God, that Man in the Mirror hurt him so bad, y'all. But I think at the time Flex was in a bad financial situation because I remember him and his wife Shanice went through some financial woes, and I think he took that because he needed some bread. Like let me just do this movie. You know what I mean? And hey, brother tried to get him some paper, but that damn white stuff on his face though, that was just crazy. That was wild. The white stuff on his face was crazy. I don't blame Flex for that Man in the Mirror. They gave him a BS script. Yeah, him and Shanice, his wife Shanice, they was going through some difficult times financially. And I think he's just like, look, I gotta take what I can take. You know what I mean? And that's what he did. You can't tell someone who they can and can't be with when you didn't marry either. Yeah, it's people that say that. It's people that say it. Nah, his real name not Flex. That's his stage name that he had. That's not his real name. No. Well, I will say though, Calvin, there are some exceptions when you been with a woman for a little minute and you like, oh man, we ain't gonna be compatible. I got to go. I got to go. Are you gonna talk about Stephen A. Smith, right? Against Al Green protest? I didn't even know he was doing what? I'm not informed, Tom. I'm not informed. They be like, all eyes on me, the story of Tupac story. Right. Had me up in there playing Pac. What my man Anthony Mackie? I'm Tupac. And that was just crazy. I'm Papa Doc, Tupac. Yeah, Michelle Thomas was cold. That's why Steve was tripping on Laura Winslow. Laura didn't even want him. Go ahead and go with Myra Monkhouse, because she wanted Steve bad. Yo, I haven't watched that Tupac movie yet after a few clips. Yeah, so the Tupac movie was Demetrius Shipp. He actually looks like Pac. He does. Anthony Mackie was Tupac in the Biggie movie. And he was on there. I'm Tupac. I mean, this is Tupac right here. I'm with my man Biggie. Hey, listen, hell no, man. What made them like say, hey, we gonna cast you as Pac? Like, what the hell? Nothing about that man looked like Pac or even scream. Like, Denzel Washington he didn't look like Malcolm X, but he embodied him in every way. They made his hair red and all of that, gave him the glasses, and he embodied him. It kind of made you feel like he was, even though he didn't look like Malcolm X, he made you feel like, damn, this Malcolm X. This Malcolm X for real. You know what I mean? But he said Steve might have been on the finest of crack. He had to be. I am done chasing Laura. Laura don't want me. Let me go holler at Myra and live happily ever after, like Case say we were supposed to do in the first place. Man. Yeah, Demetrius Shipp looked like Pac. He didn't have the essence that he couldn't embody Pac. He didn't have the essence of him. But Demetrius Shipp Jr., he looked like Pac. He just could not nail down the nuances of the essence of him for real. Right. At first, I thought she was talking about Anthony Mackie. I'm like, oh no, but I'm like, I'm Demetrius Shipp. Yeah, yeah. When Tracy Spencer was on Family Matters, I fell in love. I thought yeah. At first, I thought he was talking about. I thought she was talking about Anthony Mackie too, but nah, Demetrius Shipp for sure. Oh, hey Mac, random, but do you think Mike Vick's actions are forgivable? I see the general consensus is he's grown and changed, which is fair, but I can't get past the depravity of what he did. I believe it's forgivable. I think Mike has redeemed himself all the way, or as much as possible, I should say. Served his time in jail. He's spoken out against animal cruelty. He's conducted himself like a model citizen since then. Carries himself extremely well now. It completely changed who he was as a person and got rid of a lot of the mindset that he had from the neighborhood he came from. He's now the head football coach at Norfolk State University, which I'm happy and proud of him for. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think he's redeemed himself, man. I feel like, in his lifetime, there have been people who have been forgiven who have taken people's life, actual human beings' life. So I feel like, Mike has redeemed himself for sure. Like I say, he served his time, but not only did he serve his time, he changed who he was completely. Spoke on behalf of animal cruelty, all of that, condemned everything he was doing, condemned the actions that he was engaging in, all of that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he didn't just get out of jail and then kept being the same person. He actually spoke against everything that he was doing, and spoke against it on public platforms. Was helping with animal cruelty, all of that. I'm not defending Mike Vick, but he's right to go to war when it comes to. Yeah, I mean, so I will say this. Um, oh, my bad, y'all. Looking at something. My bad, y'all. I know MC Hammer movie was the worst. Girl, yeah, it's a bad thing. Yeah, so like, I will say this, right? I always find it interesting when I watch Game of Thrones reactions. I wanna sit down with some white folks and ask why, like, if when I watch Game of Thrones, do you know more people? I've seen more people cry about the wolf being killed than Ned Stark being killed. Like I'd be like, every people crying when the wolf or the horse get hurt. I was like, yo, and I'm really be trying to like not even trying to be funny. I'll be trying to figure out because what this white people connection with animals so heavily that is like that. I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm not even trying to be like disingenuous when I say that. I'm being truthful. Cause I'll be like, to me, Ned Stark getting eliminated was the what? Like, man, that shook my world. Like, man, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? But then it were people that didn't cry when that happened. But what let a wolf or something die? It was people crying their eyes out about the wolf passing away. And yes, it said the wolf passed away, but I'm looking like, man, the human being is like the thing for me. Like, yo, it's a human. You know what I mean? So I always wonder that. Like, why, what is the connection between white folks and animals like that? I be really want to know. Like, where do they come from? Because majority, and I I hate to say that, majority of black folks are we connected to our pets, our pets. You know what I'm saying? Not just any random pet out here. Like, you know what I mean? Any random, like, animal. We connected to our animals per se. So I be really want to know. Eddie George. Yeah, I saw you took the Bowling Green job. I did see that. I did see. I think Tennessee State had a lot of stuff going on too. Maybe that's why he got up out of there. Because leaving there for Bowling Green, I mean, Bowling Green probably got a little bit, got some more, probably got a little bit more funds. But Bowling Green isn't like, it's what, in the MAC conference, I believe. It's in the MAC. It's not too much of a huge step up like that, But yeah. He said if you do your history on wolf domestication into dogs, they are a white man's best friend because they gave them a leg up to conquer the world. If not for dogs and guns, history would have changed. Yeah, for sure. I always say, man, the gun. I always talk about the gun. I never thought about the wolf or the dog, but the guns, that was a game changer. That's why one of my favorite books to read is a book called Things Fall Apart by, I think his name is Chinua Achebe. I think I'm pronouncing the name wrong. Anybody that's African can correct me. Have y'all read the book before called Things Fall Apart? It's one of my favorite books ever, right? And it talks about colonialism within Africa. And they came a great book, SL. And when they talk about, white folks coming in and taking over, getting rid of their traditions, their religion, bringing Christianity to them, eliminating all of their traditions, all of their stuff, and them having guns. And them having guns made the African people acquiesce to what they were saying because they had guns, and the African people did not have guns. And the main character, Okonkwo, he becomes very conflicted because he wants to. And Okonkwo, it talks about toxic masculinity and Okonkwo being wrapped up in toxic masculinity, but at the same time, him recognizing what was happening to his homeland, how it was being, how colonialism was affecting it. And at the end of the book, he's ready to fight back, even though the other people have weapons. And when he realizes that no one else will fight with him, he gives up. He gives up in the worst way possible because he know they got other people. They not gonna help him fight. They got guns. They got guns. It's nothing. It's nothing that gonna make them stand up against guns. Okonkwo was willing to risk it all to keep their traditions and fight back against everything. But yeah. But man, y'all gotta, if y'all haven't read that book, I read it as a part of my curriculum for high school. It's one of the best books I ever read in my life. Like I'm not gonna lie, you know. I think black people love dogs, but they treat them with love and respect within the confines of them being a dog. Right. Um, yes, that is it. A lot of white folks be having their dogs share the same cereal bowl as them. So right, exactly. Like they treat them, black folks love dogs and treat them within the confines of them being a dog, a canine. A lot of white folks look at them as a human being, like an extension of a human. So that's why they had him, doing a lot of stuff, sitting at the table with them. My brother Shannon Sharp be having his dog at the table with him, like he eating. which is, man, no, I ain't, man, no, man, I ain't doing it. But yeah. Also, black folks don't tongue kiss their dog. Uh, True, because hell no. True, hell no. Having real life $1,000 figure. Yeah, man, what? Man, listen, I grew up with two dogs. As I got older. My mama first got dogs when I was in high school for my little sister. I probably was like 15 at the time. I love them dogs. Something happened to them dogs, I'm gonna be sad. We ain't having no $1,000 funerals and all of that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Shout out to Best Chicago. What's going on in Beverly? William Stevenson, what's going on? What's going on? You ever smell a wet dog? You want that smell while you eating it? Woo! Exactly, man. Y'all know dog piss is strong as hell too. Yeah, y'all been around dog and they pee, strong as hell. So Stephen A. called Al Green's protest against Medicaid cuts during the State of the Union address immature and undignified, among other remarks. It's shameful and unhelpful that he said that. Wow, I did not know that. I gotta look into that. Y'all be enlightening me to a lot of different things. I gotta look into. Yeah, man. But yeah, but all right, y'all. I'm finna get off this thing so I can eat me some food and stuff, man. I appreciate y'all coming on with me, man. Until next time, y'all. Machiavelli Mills TV. I'm out. Peace.